Hello. Welcome, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about community-led small initiatives here. We have three presenters here with us. We have Aditya from India, representing the SU Lighthouse. We have Mariana, Fiúza, representing Ajith Soul Composting. And we have Esthela Espinoza, representing Gears. Is that correct, Stella? Gears?
It's hair. Well, we can find out together. We'll see.
Okay. I'm Isabel, a member of the IHS Alumni Board. This webinar is given by the Alumni Board. I'm the communication coordinator. The Alumni Board is a network from former students from IHS that we aim for more connectivity after we graduate. We represent the worldwide IHS alumni community. So today we have this webinar on those small initiatives that were presented together with us at WOOF, the World Urban Forum, in this past month. It was part of our Alumni Award, so I'm not going to take any longer. This is it. If you want, we are always open for any input from our. If you have any idea, anything that you want to share with our community, please feel free to talk to us and share your idea. Maybe we can turn into a webinar. It can be a blog post, anything for collaboration, so we can extend and expand our network. We are going to be starting today with Esthela. Esthela is going to be presenting about GEARD. Esthela is an architect, and she graduated in our master in urban housing and management from IHS and London University. She has more than 15 years in the field of urban development, working with local governments and community-based organizations, building their land use and management plans in Ecuador. She is also a member of the team developing and validating the software GEARD. Esthela, the floor is yours. Welcome.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. Yeah, we have all this information in Spanish, and we're translating it to English. So it's going to be a good thing to start with. How are we going to pronounce the name of the software? Because it comes from GE, hair, and then it's combined with earth, because we work on territories. And Hea is the goddess of earth, of the planet Earth, according to Greek mythology. So, well, we call it Hea for now. And in English, we'll find out. So we have it's a software. We call it an intelligence system, but it is a software that works on a platform, and it's used for urban planning. And I will try to explain what's it about, because it's very complex to describe the whole work and how it was built. But I hope it's easier to explain how it's going to be used, because we think we have developed a very useful tool for urban planners, for consultants, for universities, and we hope, and we're nowadays validating it with different stakeholders. So could you please move to the next slide? Yeah, so a little bit of who we are. We're a team, of course, of people. We have a director, and he was actually his work and his idea to try to find a way to do all the work that we do by hand, let's say, in a way that is sustainable and connected. And with all these new tools that we have, like artificial intelligence, platforms, and apps that we develop nowadays, I think we are at the perfect timing for developing a software that will help all of us with urban issues. So we've been working in this field for more than 25 years. And as I was saying, the idea of building this software, or excuse me, I need to see. Okay, so the idea was, it came from the necessity of addressing urban issues in an integrated and sustainable manner. And it was hard to do when you didn't have all these tools before, that you have to have meetings and with other professionals, and you always end up doing just one part of the sustainable system, because all of our work now is also scientific based, and we use the systems theory among others to always have the big picture. So now that we have last year gotten a grant from the Ministry of Production here in the country, we managed to fully develop the software. And we are at the stage of finishing it and validating it in first, we're going to start in urban neighborhoods and in rural communities here in the country. Can we move to the next one, please? Yeah. So our project is to develop an intelligence system, which is a software, to generate, organize, keep, integrate, and capitalize data, information, knowledge, and experiences. So the users can intervene and modify, let's say, the spaces and neighborhoods and communities. So what the software does at the end is to intervene and transform reality into a new one. Also, another goal is obviously to use this software for planning, managing, and governing territories. Can we move to the next one, please? Yeah. So this is what HEART is an intelligence system that facilitates observation, understanding, explaining of the structure of a territorial reality in order to predict and transform it through problem solving and policy development. So also at the end, what we have is our urban problems have found a solution. That's what we're going to have at the end. So it comes in many different ways. That is within the platform of the software. When you use it, you'll find out, and I will explain a little bit further down this. Yeah, thank you. That's exactly the structure of the software. So we have 10 because, as I was saying, everything is backed up by scientific processes. There's a whole structure that we have built behind this to be able to build this software. So we have, you cannot see it very well, but it's how you model the system. The first one, there is a methodology that you follow, an evaluation, and then we have spatial big data. So it's big data for the space because we're working in territories. We have tools with different softwares and other things we can use. Knowledge database. We have an indicators database. We have some principles, laws, theories, and scientific theories that we use, and it's backed up with that. Because everything, as I was saying, and I will keep saying it, it's backed up by science. So if we say we have a theory about sustainability, you will have to, if you're using the software, if you're referring to it, if you're building a model yourself, because you can also do that, and I'll show you in a little bit, you will have to back back yourself up with science, previous experiences, and so you can have some base for what you're saying. Also, we have key issues and trends. Everything is connected to what's going on in the world. And at the end, we have our systemic way of solving problems. So those are the components. Once you use the software, then everything here it's going to be there, and you can look at it and you can fill it out if you're going to use it like that, or you can just use part of it. And I'll keep trying to explain what it does. Can we move to the next one, please? Yeah, well, HEART is based in everything works around an intelligent models of transformation. We have called them an IMT. It's what we build as a consultant or what we use as if we're going to be users of the software. It's a digital tool that will allow you to intervene in the territorial reality, like it says there in the slide, so that these realities then can be transformed through problem solving. You get whatever you need, the information. Of course, you don't work alone. You don't work alone, because even if you're working alone, you will have the software to back you up. So it's also like a teammate. It has different, you can use it in different ways. And and then here we have two graphs of how the IMT is designed. You use it in a platform. You have some users giving you information through apps that we're also developing. You have a reality and designers that work in the environment. And when we say environment, we mean everything that is going on around the project, or around what the model you're building, or around the project you're working on. And then you also in the next graph, it's how you apply this IMT. You use a platform. Also, you have these info apps, which is where you upload, as I was saying, all your information. Also, we're going to have network apps, which is like social networks to keep sharing information. And then, the intelligent model of transformation structure that is going to be modified all the time with this information that you keep uploading. Can we move, please, to the next one? Yeah. So here are some of the intelligent models of transformations that we are building, because also we have to start with something. So we have people working with these themes, which is we have, for example, local resource management, indigenous territorial governance, sustainable urban development planning, the Urban Prosperity Index system. And right now we're working, we're going to validate our first model in a neighborhood here in a city of Ecuador. So we will bring the software. We're going to be working with the organized neighborhood and the people there to get all this information and build this intelligent model with them. Can we move to the next one? Yeah, thank you. So, so who are the users? And as a user, what do I get from HEART 4.0? Well, you can see there a little screenshot of the software. I wanted to share it today, but it was kind of difficult right now because we need to log in the software, and it was not that easy to do for the webinar. But once it's ready, which will take a month or so, we will let you know, so you can start using it, and you can create your username and start reading about it and uploading information if you need. There will be different ways of using it. You can have a free version of it, or if you want to have a little bit more of work, then you can get different versions of the software and the information that we already have there. Can we move to the next one, please? Can we go back a little bit? Just one more thing. If you're in a computer, but you can see the image a little bit better. This is the first thing you're gonna have when you open, more or less the first thing you're gonna have when you open the software, and it's called the complex system, of the territory, and you can see there are a lot of elements that in different subsystems within this territorial system, and all these little circles are the elements. So what the software does, it helps you connect all this information that you have, and that before having this, we would have to just concentrate in one part. So when we say social, economic, environmental, territorial, and political, which is 5 aspects that we deal with in our work. Usually we had to deal with having to study or develop just one of them, or maybe connect with something, but it's hard to do when you have to do it by your own hand or only concentrated in one part. So what the software does and what the computer does, it helps you with artificial intelligence and all this new technology that we have, which is also good that we're developing it now, is help you make all these connections. And because we're also connecting numbers, data, big data, which is called big data now, what is called big data now, but also in this space that we move, which is the neighborhood or the rural community, and we're also dealing with time, with whatever energy they have. So we talk about energy, matter, information, and knowledge. So all of these connections within the territorial system, that's what the software helps you do, and it helps you deal with. Thank you. Can we move to the next one, please?
Esthela, you have 2 more minutes.
Okay, thanks. Yeah. So so these are our to start validation. We have these 2 main users that we're going to have, which is rural communities and urban neighborhoods, because here in the country they are well organized, so we can work with them, get their information, and start building their models too. And what do we get as users at the end? We get this a lot of things, a lot of information, and a lot of big data information, but it's going to be manageable for the user. So we're going to get info, knowledge, databases, scientific theories in regards to the subject or the project that we're dealing with, scientific processes for sustainable development projects, solve issues of our project or of our community, and develop policies, and so on and so forth. Can we move to the last one? I think it's the last one. Yeah. So, and with this software, well, everything is a challenge right now, even explaining it, because it will take not 15 minutes, but I think a couple of weeks maybe, because we like to let the users know what is behind all this work. It's there is a philosophy and there are scientific processes that are backing all this information up. We're not just making things up. We're developing actual models within a software. So it's going to be a challenge to continue developing these IMTs and apps, validating them, also managing the platform, and protecting information, although all the information will be in a free basis. And of course, broaden the users market, but because we're going beyond communities and urban neighborhoods, we're going to have other stakeholders too. Thank you. I think the last one is the next one is the last one. Thank you.
Oh, okay, that's it. Thank you. Thank you, Esthela, for your presentation. Guys, any of you have any questions, please put in the chat. We are going to be addressing all the questions in the end. Now, Esthela, if you can stop the presentation. I think I cannot do that here. Thank you. Now we are going to have Aditya from the ESU Lighthouse. Aditya is an urban management manager with 7+ years experience in government advisory and participatory community development processes. His expertise lies in facilitating meaningful dialogue and building government-people linkages. Sorry. He is a recipient of the prestigious Nuffic Fellowship offered by the Dutch government to pursue his master at IHS, and also a gold medalist from School of Planning and Architecture in New Delhi. He was Delhi Chief Minister's Urban Leader Fellow and also brings in considerable experience from the non-profit sector. Presently, he works at the Delhi Skill and Entrepreneurship University and leads several citywide social impact projects, such as the DSEU Lighthouse Program, Delhi Spoken English Program, the ESU Women Entrepreneurship Program, among others. Welcome, Aditya. Now the floor is yours to talk a little bit. You have 15 minutes.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bella. You've always been really supportive of me, and even at the World Urban Forum, I was partnered with Bella, and she really helped me out being a remote presenter presenting from Delhi. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody. I see almost 50 people have joined in, and I was frankly expecting 5. So I made my presentation in a way that I'll directly be speaking to some of you. Maybe I'll start, and please feel free to put in your comments or questions on the chat. So yeah, are you able to see my presentation? Give me a thumbs up.
Yes.
Yes, thank you. So I will be presenting the DSEU Lighthouse, and we call it as a medium to create pathways for a skilled future. And here it's, so why do we want to look at skilling or do anything in the urban space around skilling? So in the last 3 to 4 years in India, the urban youth unemployment is at the range of 20%. So every 1 in 5 person who is qualified and who has a certain degree of education still is unemployed in India. After COVID, we found that the effect is much more on women participation in the workforce, where there is a high dropout in the workforce participation, especially observed among women. And what happens because of this is that the society itself has a lot of unrest and leads to a lot of conflicts because of having such a socioeconomic dynamic in the city. What is a DSU Lighthouse? Let me first tell you what DSU means. DSU is the Delhi Skill and Entrepreneurship University. It's a new university set up in Delhi in 2020. And it primarily focuses on developing skilled youth in the city and also promotes many entrepreneurship related projects in the city. That is where the DSU Lighthouse has been launched by the university as a sustainable livelihood program for urban disadvantaged youth. The model is that the way a lighthouse is kept at the seashore to guide people towards the shore. In the same way, the DSU Lighthouse is a place which guides youth to their choice of vocation. It's a great partnership where, as urbanists, we always talk about how things are multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary, and many stakeholders should come together. So this is a project where the government, led by the Skill University and the Shelter Improvement Board, who is responsible for slum upgradation in the city, from the government sector or the public sector, Then we have Lighthouse Communities, which is the main anchor of this program. And it's a Pune-based organization, another city in Delhi, who really conceptualized and championed this whole initiative and has been doing this for the past 7 to 8 years. Michael and Susan Dell Foundation is sponsoring the program in terms of its operation. And the most key and most vital stakeholder is the community themselves, who is taking up and coming together in a big way to make this happen and participating in a way and to lead a better life. So that the collaboration in that sense, or the partnership in that sense, is a great one, where public, people and private sector has come together to do something for upgradation of low income communities. The key differentiator of this program, I would say, is the foundation aspect of it, where we make students or youngsters come into the program and really find their agency during the process. By agency, what I mean is that when we go from school to college, especially in low income communities and low income countries, and in India especially, students really don't know where to go and what vocation to choose or which course to choose. The foundation program really makes students understand what they really are, what they really want to do, what their true skill set is, and accordingly map or match the program to the student. This is a foundation program in practice, where through many games and many activities, many one-to-one counseling sessions, we try to understand what the student is really looking forward. So the youth in the age group of 18 to 30 comes into the program, and they are made to undergo a 40-hour training just on trying to recognize what you want to pursue. There are 4 centers that are going to come up. 2 have already been launched and 2 are coming up. I've tried to map them on the city. And every year, 1,200 students are expected to pass out from each center. So why would we talk about skilling in a platform of urbanists? So this is something that really intrigues me. And as an urban planner, I also question myself many times that why I should be in this sector where we are talking about skilling. So so as we always talk about, and IHS has really taught us this, that we are not existing in isolation. We are not existing as a single entity, that there are just planners in the city and they decide what happens in the city. It is ultimately a culmination of many different sectors coming together and working together. One of the key sectors that we often overlook is the political arena, in which any project or any scheme or any policy comes into picture. So political contestations shape a city, and so has this project been shaped through the politics of development in the city. Around 7 years back, there was a change in the way the political narrative in the city was conveyed to people. So right now there is a lot of focus on education, health and skilling, which is being promoted by the government. And the outcome is that such programs and such projects and such a university also has a very key and very prominent space in the city daily life. Again, I see this project as a great example of spatial justice and connecting with people. Traditionally, universities have existed as one big center bang in the middle of the city, and all the students are expected to come to that center to seek education. It's a find education model. Like, there is one entity, you go there, you try to gain something from there. But by having lighthouses and by having lighthouses close to slum clusters, what the university essentially has done is that the university is actively trying to reach out to the community. The university, by setting up the lighthouses or having this lighthouse model, is going closer to the community and offering them. In return, what is happening is that spaces are getting transformed. I'll come to that when I talk about puncturing the city. what we are trying to do is that we are not doing any greenfield development. We are taking up existing buildings, existing old derelict structures, and converting these buildings into usable and much better facilities right next to the slum cluster. So when you're living in a very blighted, in a slum-like situation, suddenly when you come to a lighthouse, we see that it's completely transformed, and it gives a really aspirational feel towards education, or for the child who lives in a small 8 feet by 8 feet dwelling. Suddenly when they come to a lighthouse, they feel that, okay, I have reached a place where I am also something, and I am getting a product that is very aspirational and very modern in that sense. Again, this is also, these kind of structures, these kind of initiatives are architecture for people. The way it is designed, the elements that we want to add, it is all made in a way that it is more aspirational and accessible to communities. I think I have explained this. The lighthouse model, it was set up in Pune, and we got them here to Delhi. Similarly, it's so well spread out, like all the and what it leads to is that when we take it closer to the community, it leads to a reduction in the cost of transportation and other associated environmental benefits. We are puncturing the city, no new greenfield. So I'll just take a moment to stop sharing from here and share a small video. This is how the structure was when we initially went there, and this is how it was converted in. This is what it was converted in. So you can look at all the external side walls. This is how we painted, like give it a facelift. All the entrance gates, pathways.
Aditya, you have 2 more minutes, okay?
So, as I explained this, so this is the some glimpses of the first lighthouse, and I would also like to share some from the second one that we just launched. So we went through this entire process of how to design it, what are the elements that we want to add for, which will make it aspirational for somebody who's coming from a slum cluster. And this is from the very recently launched, just a week back, the second lighthouse. This also has my favorite room. We have added a music room also this time, in terms of an element that usually students don't get in a slum cluster. So we'll take the next 2 minutes to summarize and what we are trying to achieve here. So what we want to do, or what we want to convey, is that urban is beyond just designing or physical planning. It really requires a deeper engagement into the social and political aspects of the city. How we have tried to work with the community, how we have tried to work with the government, bringing in the unique and strong aspects of all the stakeholders into one program, and offering a course and a place that is aspirational for the people. What we are also doing is through the imparting of the foundation course, a short-term skilling course, and then trying to link it with the university, we are creating an entire journey for the student. So if a student comes to us at the age of 18, they can gradually stack up their skill set and achieve and like aim to achieve a better future, which will in turn give people a better livelihood. That livelihood will then get invested in their low income settlements, turning that low income settlement also into a more prosperous place. And as against convention, the university or the lighthouse is actively trying to go towards the community instead of the community coming to the university. So that's where I would like to conclude, and really thankful to IHS for this opportunity to present it to all. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Aditya, for your presentation. Now we go to the last presentation of the initiatives, which is Mariana Fiúza. Mariana is a Brazilian urban planner and a Master in Science from Urban Strategies and Planning from IHS. After returning to her hometown, Teresina, which is in Brazil, she engaged with the local government strategy agenda, Teresina 2030, to promote innovation towards sustainable urban development. Currently, a PhD candidate at the University Institute of Lisbon, with a research focused on regenerative processes and inclusive climate action. Welcome, Mariana.
Thank you. Can you all hear me? Well, yeah. So I'm going to share my screen. Can you just confirm that you can see it? Yeah. Can you see the presentation?
Yes, still not on slideshow, but I guess it's going now. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thank you so much. And it's a great opportunity to be here and share this webinar with my colleagues from IHS, and to see that other people around, and of course in the audience as well, people are doing urban initiatives to achieve better cities, better societies, better communities. So now I'm going to present the initiative that I started in Teresina with some friends in 2020 during the pandemic, and it is named EdSol. And I loved the name, like the explanation for the name of the previous projects. I think names are really important. So that's why I decided to start the presentation saying what EdSol means. And literally, it means sunmade, or made out of the sun. So, but it also means we are from a very sunny place, maybe too much. So according to this map of the last 100 years, like the temperature changes in the planet, according to NASA, Teresina is located in this area, this red spot. What means that the increase of the temperature, the surface temperature in Teresina was like twice of the global average of 1 degree Celsius. So we have to be very concerned about the way that we are like designing the city and planning the city for the future, because it's already too warm, and it's getting warmer and warmer. And we are very aware also that landfills emits nearly 400 kilos of CO2 equivalent, is mainly methane, per ton of organic waste. And Teresina produces 300 tons of organic waste per day. And it's like almost every city, have like huge amounts of organic waste produced per day, and not so sustainable management for this kind of waste. So the main goal of edge soil composting is to reduce the volume of greenhouse gases emitted in Teresina by composting organic waste that would otherwise end up in the city's landfill that look like the previous image. And we aim to change the way Teresina deals with organic waste generated by local inhabitants and businesses. And now I'm going to do just a brief explanation of how did we started to think in an initiative that would tackle this specific problem. We started in the Gigaton Challenge, and it's a learning program building practical skills to tackle climate crisis. Is promoted by the Complexity University. So basically, cities around the world, they organize themselves in teams, like less than 20 people. Mainly, most of the teams, they have around this amount of people. And they started to think about what kind of initiative would be like good for your city to create a great impact and to reduce the amount of greenhouse gases that are produced locally. So the name is Gigaton Challenge because it's the amount of CO2 equivalent gases that we have to reduce to achieve the global agendas. So the better way to do that is working like decentralized and in teams around the world. So the huge goal that we are facing, it becomes like smaller in a way that we can, everybody can contribute. So what do Gigaton teams, they do? They work with food security, real-time environmental sensor network, job creation. Anyway, and we decided to work with the organic waste because of the profile of Teresina's. Teresina is well known in the region because of the amount of restaurants, and also we do have a lot of community gardens. So we thought it would be very interesting to Teresina to work with organic waste. So these are the amount of teams around the world. So 70 teams, 52 cities. India is very active in the Gigaton Challenge, and we are located more like here. But anyway, it's a distorted map. And we were part of this startup phase 1, but we didn't know we had a startup project back then. But we started like that, like a group of people who wanted to do some, create some positive impact. And now this is the kind of outcome that we are getting. We started compost, and we are now having this product. What is amazing, what nature can do, with the organic waste. So we have two main products now. That is this on-demand composting service. We collect the organic waste that people put in these buckets that we offer them. So they fill it, and they decided the amount of times we go there per month. So it can be like 4 times per month if it's a big family, or once per month if it's just one person living in the house. And then they pay an affordable fee, and we collect it and we transform in compost. And then we return this compost to the people in case they want to have the compost, they have garden. And otherwise we offer discount in the commercial partners, because also we are collecting from restaurants and small businesses. So they have like large amounts of organic waste to provide. And also they do not want the compost, but we are doing like some green market for them. They also like the idea that they have, like they are more environmental conscious about the impact that they are creating in the city. So they like the alternative that we created for a more sustainable waste management. And also environmental education. So for instance, we are going to public schools to talk about composting, to talk about how to reduce the amount of organic waste, and how to, through the kids, you impact the families because they go back home and they talk about the initiatives. So it's great to have this opportunity of the environmental education, because then you create more space for the business grow. More people are aware of the impact, and also they are more like interest to do some, to be our clients or partners, as we like to say. And so we have more or less 1 year of operation. We started with the Gigaton Challenge, and after 1 year, we decided to start as a business, so as a startup. And we already composted 5 tons of organic waste, which means more or less almost 4 tons of CO2 equivalent that were not emitted in Teresina, so they are not going to the atmosphere. 150 people impacted, so not only the partners, the commercial partners, residential partners, but also people who were like working in the restaurants. We always talk with the staffs. We teach them how to do the composting, how to separate the organic waste before we collect it. And we talk about sustainability and climate change. So we want those people to become aware of the crisis that we are facing. Of course, they have knowledge about it, but we want to, deepen this knowledge. And more or less 300 kilograms are composted per week. And in 2022, we put a Teresina, like the first time Teresina participated in the International Compost Awareness Week. So we had like 1 week of activities talking about composting, but not only composting, but also sustainability and how to have more sustainability practices at home and at work. So we dream about a lot of stuff. Of course, we want to compost everything. And we want, in the social aspect, this is also one thing that we brought to the World Cafe at WUF, the main challenge that we were facing back then, to reach local income communities, especially in the fringes of the urban area, and also local urban gardens. So we want to create this partnership with them, create more green jobs and support local businesses to be more sustainable, and also compost 1 ton per week. So we have like to increase our capacity in 3 times. And we got great ideas from the participants of the World Cafe at WUF. And for the social aspects, especially to achieve and to reach the low-income communities, is great, like to work with local stakeholders. So decentralize the work, because we do not have that capacity. So for instance, we have like a huge site for composting now, that I think I showed a picture before with the car that we use for collect these buckets. And we need a space, and we need people to work in this material that is being composted. So the better option is to work with local stakeholders to, to share the responsibility and also the positive outcomes, and decentralize. And for the economic part, to achieve this bigger capacity, is to sell this compost to bigger consumers. So now we are talking about some people in the rural area, like owners of farmers who might be interested to buy this compost in a greater amount of compost from us, and to create this bigger impact in the amount of greenhouse gases that are being emitted is an outcome of the increased capacity. So now, of course, we won the prize and all the recognition, and now we are getting more like people interested in working with us, and we got an invitation of the local government to work with them to create like a common project between the municipality, what the municipality wants and what the municipality can do, and how can we support it. Even with our expertise, is important to them to hear from our experience.
Mariana,
and
4 minutes.
Okay, so yeah, this is the last slide. This is the kind of green markets in public areas that we like to take part, to participate, to talk about the initiative, and also to sell the compost to people who are passing by. And this is our team, so I think it's also super important to show who is like behind the project with me. So Ramon, Roberto, Carla, Tátila, and Luis. And yeah, thank you so much, and feel free to ask more questions about it. Yay.
Thank you,
Do I stop
Mariana.
sharing?
Yeah. Thank you. Thanks for the three of you. You have very different but very unique projects, and I think it was great having you at MOVE as the three finalists. I think we did a great decision on having the three of you. We can explore a variety of stuff here with you. Now we are going to have some time for the question and answers. Let me see. We can start with the questions for Esthela, so I can go in order because people are asking questions for each initiative.
Hi. Hello.
Hello.
Do you see me? Because I can't see myself. Yeah? Okay, good. That's good. Thank you. I was, are you going to do the questions? Because I read a little bit also.
Okay. Well, I can do the questions, but if you read, maybe I can just go through them. The first one was from Laura Hunt. She said, fantastic, Stella. How do you ensure data is current and updated? Do you want me to go through all of them or one by one?
I think we can go through all and then I can answer because I already wrote something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we had a question from Imelda. Can the Earth application, I am sorry, I cannot spell that, Gert.
It's okay. We'll figure it out.
Application be shared with other countries in English formats. Then from Sarafan, what kinds of problem or does the GERS 4.0 system help to solve? And at what level? Neighborhood, citywide, regional, and etc. Another one from Imelda is the same, sorry, in English format. From Oninieki, this is great. How can the GERS be used in urban areas without organized data? And another one from James. Is there a GERS 4.0 trial version and or a student version for use in academic teaching and learning? I think those are the questions for you. There is another one from Emmanuel. I'm just asking here to him, is this question to Esthela or to Aditya? Just let me know, please. You can answer, Esthela. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much for your questions and all of you that are attending. Thank you so much because these help us a lot. It's helping us a lot, and especially to be able to explain what we're building here with the software and how can we use it and share it all over the planet. So as I was saying, the intelligent models of transformation are, this is the base of the software. So they are going to be permanently working. And that's how they are going to be also permanently updated, because every user will be uploading information, and I don't know if it's clear or not, but it's not information that you want to upload or whatever you decide. You feel like writing something, which is okay, but everything is going to be connected and everything is going to be backed up by scientific theories. So they have to be coordinated and they have to make sense in a way. Let's say it that way. So if they are going to be permanently updated, all these models that Laura was asking about, how do we keep this information updated? The other question was, what problems are we going to be able to address with these intelligent models of transformation? And I can say everything that you build this intelligent model of transformation for. So it could be for a problem in your neighborhood, or for a problem for, I don't know, environmental issues all over the planet. Also, it will depend on the capacity of the team and the computers and the databases that you have. So I could say we could have an intelligent model of transformation for waste management, which Mariana could start, for example, or an educational capacity building model, intelligent model of transformation that Aditya could start too. So any problem that you want to solve in a scientific way, in a sustainable way, and where you want to get a scientific solution and develop a policy, you could use the software for. The English version is coming and it should be ready by the end of the year. Also the student version too. That would be a little bit earlier in Spanish, but it will also come in an English version, all of it, because if we want to go worldwide, we have to do it. So it is part of the process of building this software, and it will be available. Also, there was a question if there is no data. We can start with secondary data that is always that's always available from the municipality, from the country. And then the model and the apps, because the smallest part of the software will be the app that you can download, for example, in your phone, and everyone has that, even in rural areas. So they could start uploading information or letting us know how they if it's in the neighborhood, if they need something, if we're talking about a project for more green areas, for example, or for compost, what do they need? What else can they do? They can. We're going to have these apps where you can upload this information, and it goes up to the software and the model. So there are these ways of building when there's no data available from the beginning. And I think that those are the questions. And thanks again for listening, for sharing, and for all your input. Thank you.
Thank you, Esthela. We are also going to be sharing, of course, that if you want, as speakers, we can share with them in the post-webinar email your contacts. So if anyone wants to reach out, ask more details, do partnerships, I don't know, think about many things, you can reach them out or reach us and ask for anything that you need. Now we have some questions for Aditya. We do have one question here still from Emmanuel that I don't know, but maybe it can be like a general question. Emmanuel said, the actions of powerful or developed governments, NGOs, and others outside these identified are, as much as I know, driven by values. The core values are nationalism, geopolitics, and market. Was mentioned in the address by the last speaker. It is a value orientation and approach to global issues that worries me, and as my opinion is responsible for wrong decisions and solutions to global problems. Therefore, I ask, what is intended by market approach? This question lies for all of you, maybe. Do anyone want to come up and answer?
Maybe I can try. Probably, I don't remember using the word market approach, but I can try. I mean, it's both a philosophical question and at the same time very relevant to any project that we take up in the urban space. What is the politics? What is the market around it? It means we always ask ourselves, like, how do we make this financially sustainable? Or how does the existing politics in the city, I mean, in the question, it mentions the overall geopolitics also. But in my presentation also, I did touch upon this point that it is very important that there is a conducive political environment in which we run projects. Otherwise, projects don't sustain in the long term. Needs to be embedded and closely knit with the political and social structure of the city. For example, if there is a government which is very keen on poverty alleviation, where versus a government which is very pro market and completely on opening the economy. I mean, more often than not, projects which have more government spending, intended government spending, so with respect to say education or health, take a hit when it's a more market driven approach. Whereas when we have a government that is more of a welfareist or a more uh, supporting the community, projects that require huge capital spending, huge government investments also take shape. One of such projects is our project, and I will link the next question where somebody is asking, does DSU Lighthouse get any government support? We got almost $500,000 from the government for the capital expense to set up the lighthouse. So that was, the government really came forth and we approached, and as a university we are part of the government itself, we are an arm of the government. And for doing this refurbishing and doing this project and to create those beautiful spaces, the government themselves came forward and invested $500,000, which is roughly 4 crore rupees, how we call it in India. So it's a great project where, and in terms of the how we are going to make it sustain, how we're going to make it last, definitely this is a project created for social impact, and many corporate sponsors are also supporting us with the operations of it. So the model is that the capex is taken care of by the government, where the government or us, we invest heavily in developing a conducive environment for the student to come in and be skilled, while the operations is supported by the private sector and by donor agencies. Dell Foundation is one of our donors who is supporting us with the entire operation part. The response of the community, I'll take the question from Sarafaddin Bello. What has been the response of the local government and the community members in the communities where we work? It has been very, very positive. The community has responded in a very positive manner and come to us seeking guidance, seeking counseling on where and what we want, what we can do with the limited skills. So I remember this boy who used to feel so unconfident in the beginning. It was very difficult for even him to have a eye-to-eye contact with a person. He would always look down, talk in a manner where we would really think that what would happen to this guy. Cut to 40 hours of foundation courses, a little bit of spoken English, and some digital empowerment, which together is the foundation course. He is able to converse better. He went for an interview. He cracked an interview which he has failed twice before. So it was means for us, it was a very proud moment that that kid who came to us with his eyes looking down on the floor can now at least is able to converse and talk to people. Lots of ground level volunteers are also helping us with this, because we have a good network of mobilizers who mobilize for the lighthouse, for coming into the skilling area. Thank you so much for the questions. I think I've tried to answer both of them.
I think it's all, yeah, you've answered how it's sustainable in terms of budgets, how do you fund your projects and work, and the communities, the support. Thank you, Aditya. For Mariana, we have another question from Sarah Fadin, where it says, whenever I think of organic waste and compost, I think of messiness and smell of waste, a result of natural decomposition. Is this being tackled? Also, is the land or space used for composting owned by your organization? If yes, how did you raise funds for this? Because in densely populated cities, land is often scarce. And then you have another one from Kyla. Gigaton project, have you ever thought that there is a competition between you guys and with minimizing the kitchen waste? Also, there is a machine that turns kitchen waste to compost in just a few minutes. Are aware about it? Ever thought of on the same line of producing those kinds of machines made available for households? Those are the questions for you, Mariana.
Thank you for the questions. About the messiness and the smell of waste, we are very aware of that. It's like a natural process, so it's normal that it happens. But what we do is to educate people. So, of course, when a family starts to collect the organic waste in the buckets, we explain to them what it's important. So we have, like, for instance, a presentation to the whole family to explain what can go and what cannot go to the compost bin, to the bucket, and to keep it like closed so it avoids, for instance, animals to put their eggs there, and it avoids also this the smell to take control of the house, to go all over the place. So the people are like being taught how to take care of that and avoid the smell. But of course, in the site you have like big bins, so they are used for for water. So they are like big water containers, and we are using them, so they are also closed, because we need to take control of the humidity of the system and how to make it health as a system. So it also controls the smell, so we almost do not feel it. Of course, when we have to manage it and to move things around and mix the compost, you can scent the smell of the composition of this natural process. They also impact in the nature. So we decided for a very nature approach for that. And people who are like partners of our projects, they are very, conscious that it can happen. But we try the best to avoid it. And about the land, it's not ours. We started using a piece of land of a partner, of a commercial partner. So on a burger place, let us use the backyard in the beginning. But now that the project is big, we are using public land, basically. So we are in partnership with the botanic garden of the city. So we are also composting the leaves, the dry leaves. So this is the way that we found to make it, of course, financially sustainable. And about the competition between guys, we are not very concerned about, because Gigaton Challenge is huge. The teams are spread all over the world. And in Teresina now, other people are starting. We were the first ones to do this kind of composting by demand, but now other people are starting to do it. And we think it's great, because now we are creating more space for people to talk about sustainable waste management. What is, it's better for the city. And about the machine, wow, it's something that we cannot think about it, because mostly this kind of technology, they are very expensive. But what we do is to teach people how to make composting bins at home. So they, sometimes they do not want to be to pay a subscription for our service, but we teach them how to do at home. So it's kind of a machine that the nature created. I think I answered everything.
Yeah.
Thank you for the questions.
Thank you, Mariana. Thank you, everyone that collaborated. Thank you for the speakers. Thank you all. It was a great chat, a great webinar. We are finishing on time, which is also great. So I think I'm going to give the floor to Stefana. I'm saying thanks in the name of IHS Alumni. As I said in the beginning, if you have any ideas, anything as an IHS alumni that you want to share, maybe we can think about something together. Please share with us. And if you want their contacts afterwards, we are going to send an email that with each contact, and you can reach them out after. Okay, so that's it.
Thank you, Belle, and thanks everyone. I'm reiterating what Belle said, that if you have an idea for a webinar, or if you know someone who would be a good speaker, or you wish to be a speaker yourself, please send us an email. I'm going to put the email in the chat. Further, we'll email the recording of this webinar as well, and we'll put it on the website. Our alumni website is www.makingcitieswork.net. So I'll put that also in the chat, and you can find more information about IHS